Please watch to the end. Comment and respond to other people's comments.
Tonight, 3 News has obtained new information about Dakari Kinnard, the suspect arrested in connection with the road rage shooting on Interstate 76 earlier this month.
Neil Fisher has details, including how investigators linked the gun used in the Norton case to another shooting. Hi, Neil.
Hey, good evening, Russ and Laura. Investigators were able to recover 8 shell casings from I-76 on May 17th. Those were sent to the Ohio BCI, which then linked them to a shooting in Columbus in April. The affidavit states that the gun used in the Norton shooting is the same one used in a shooting in Columbus on April 13th.
New details surround Dakari Kinnard, the suspect accused of shooting George Jensen on I-76 in Norton. Columbus police investigated a similar shooting on April 13th, where gunshots were reportedly coming from someone in a black Camaro while it was traveling down the roadway. The Ohio BCI linked the two scenes together. The gun used in Columbus is the same gun used to kill Jensen. The affidavit states that Kinnard is the owner of a black Camaro that was seen on I-76 at the time of the shooting. Investigators say Kinnard got off the interstate at Barber Road, where his car was picked up by a license plate reader. Then it got back on I-76 the other direction and drove past the scene. The affidavit states that several witnesses observed gunshots coming from the black Camaro during a road rage incident. Those bullet holes were seen in the side of Jensen's vehicle, and investigators were able to recover 8 shell casings on I-76. Investigators also have phone records showing Kinnard's phone traveling from Columbus to Norton and then back to Columbus.
The complaint states that Kinnard purposely caused the death of George Jensen, resulting in a first-degree murder charge.
Today, the man accused of a road rage murder in Norton appeared in court for the second time. This as we are hearing from police detectives for the very first time as they testified to keep that suspect in jail without bond. Neil Fisher has details on the new information we're learning tonight.
Good morning. What's your name?
Tonight, Dakari Kinnard is behind bars in Summit County, suspected of shooting and killing George Jensen in Norton on May 17th. Judge Todd McKinney denied bail for the second time in 3 days.
The fact that it involves gun violence causes the court to continue its order to deny bail.
For the first time since Kinnard was arrested, we heard from Norton police about how the investigation unfolded.
When we spoke with the witnesses, they described a road rage incident involving a smaller blue vehicle and a black Camaro with tinted windows.
Norton Police Detective Ryan Cannell's testimony included how they were able to place Kinnard's Camaro at the scene of the shooting.
One of the cameras was able to capture a license plate for the Camaro. The video evidence then showed that the Camaro made another left-hand turn and entered the highway going westbound on I-76 and ultimately drove back past the shooting.
Investigators obtained a warrant for cell phone records and were then able to link the phone associated with the license plate back to Kinnard and discovered that Kinnard traveled from Columbus to Norton and back to Columbus that day. The Ohio BCI linked the crime scene on I-76 to a crime scene from Columbus in April, when shots were fired out of a black Camaro.
The shell casings here in Norton match shell casings that were recovered during an investigation in Columbus.
The court has made a decision that I'm going to continue to deny bond. You'll continue to be held without bond at the Summit County Jail.
This case will be presented to a Summit County grand jury in the coming weeks. If Kinnard is indicted, the case will be bound over to Summit County. Laura?
All right, Neil Fisher live for us tonight. Neil, thank you.
Now to news of an explosive day in a Summit County courtroom. Emotions running high today as Dakari Kinnard was sentenced to prison for shooting and killing George Jensen. This was part of a apparent road rage incident on I-76 in Norton last year. Our Bree Buckley has more on today's hearing and the words of a family still in mourning.
It's been nearly a year since 40-year-old George Jensen, lovingly called Gio, was shot and killed during a road rage incident on I-76 in Norton. On Friday, Dakari Kinnard was sentenced to prison, 15 to 17 and a half years, for Gio's death.
Your actions that day took you away from your family, but took Mr. Jensen away from his. And none of it makes any sense, because it didn't have to happen.
Gio's family and friends sharing emotional and at times angry statements before the judge, asking for the maximum sentence.
You get a number now. Someone will tell you when and what you can eat, when you can pee, when you can sleep. You will be in a cage, like the animal you are.
If you're a rational, ethical person, you wouldn't have kept a loaded gun underneath your passenger side. A full-time dad? I shouldn't have to beg for you to see that what you did was wrong.
Then puts 5 rounds into the passenger door with his left hand. Then slows to continue firing. 3 more rounds into the rear of the car, then speeds away. What kind of person does that?
Dakari's family then asking the judge for leniency, saying he's kind-hearted and this doesn't reflect his character, sincerely apologizing to Gio's family.
This is a tragic for your family, and it's affecting our family also, and I'm so sorry.
Dakari is a good father to his kids. He's quiet. He doesn't really bother anyone. And like I said, I don't know what happened, and I'm sorry that it happened.
Dakari sharing his own statement as well.
I just wish I could go back in time and take back my actions. I'm very sorry to my family and the victim's family. I just wish everything was different. I would handle myself in a better manner.
The hearing ending in an emotional outburst involving both sides as the courtroom began to clear.
Your son's a piece of
You probably deserved it based on how you came in here.
The judge called this a nightmare for both families. Last month, Gio's dad said he hopes this will be a lesson to take away from this tragic situation. He's sharing that message again today. Russ, as you can imagine, this has just been really tough for the family to relive the entire thing all over again. But they did say that it brings some closure as well, too.
Okay, Bree Buckley, thank you.
Of course.
You're right. Your son's a piece. 5 to 7. You better calm down. You better calm down. I'll tell you that. You better calm down. You better calm down. You sweep me off the hallway. What kind of kid? You probably deserved it based on how you came in here.
I want everyone to stop now.
Stop.
He's not right either. He wasn't right. Do we learn nothing?
Is this the correct sentence?